After breakfast prep, I was asked to clean the third floor. I had never been asked to before, as my task was to work the lower floors, but I didn't mind. This meant I only cleaned 10 rooms as opposed to my usual 20. Lucky me. The third floor was reserved for the upper status and strongest. I had never seen rooms this big. The entire fourth floor was the suite of the current alpha, which I knew I would never see for myself. I laughed because I had imagined something smaller than the third floor rooms as the grand alpha suite. Clearly, it was 10 times the size of the third floor suites. I couldn't wrap my mind around the dimensions. All I knew was I was glad I didn't have to clean it. Soon, the alpha suite would belong to Reed. Alpha Ian would move to his grand home on the outskirts. I'd heard it was a luxury cabin house by a personal lake. Reed's giant suite was grand enough in my opinion. I could see why the second floor residents were buzzing with who would move up. Laundry was first on the list, then trash, then dusting and vacuuming. As I did my rounds, I found Reed's ripped hoodie halfway in his trash bin. I collected that along with the laundry. If I hurried, I would have a chance to mend the hoodie for him before dinner. It was the least I could do for all his help. Each of these rooms showed the personality of the owner. Reed's room had a clean look, no library, just bed and laptop, and an armchair facing out the large window overlooking the forest. So serious, I chuckled. He had the window cracked open with the storm raging on too. The room was filled with that fresh water scent. I cleaned the puddle up and closed the window. Jason's room had dark industrial vibes with a clear overuse of blacklights. Elliot's was filled with workout gear. Sarah had a lot of art and photos of her friends on the walls, showing she was fun and loyal. The last room was Layla's across from Reed's. Her walls were hot pink and she had several large mirrors. There were some pictures of her friends, but noticeably only where she was the main focus. Once I finished cleaning, I put the vacuum back in the third floor supply closet. Now to finish with folding and returning laundry. I turned to go and Layla was there.
Sorry about the ring.
She didn't sound sorry. I could see the ring on her finger. I properly kept my head down. I am glad it was not lost. I bowed to take my leave.
Leaving so soon?
I must attend to the laundry.
You know, I think you should. Leave, I mean. It's not right for you to be taking up Reed's time.
I froze.
I mean, really, don't you feel bad you made him get you from the beach?
How could I have made Reed do anything? I apologise for the inconvenience, and am very grateful for his kindness.
What have you been telling him?
Only my gratitude. I lied. My moments with Reed were sacred. I wouldn't let Layla defile it with her nastiness.
Have you told him about how we used to play?
She giggled. I hated that sound. She always made that sound before she got violent.
You know, I saw you crying at the moon blessing. Did you actually think you were a wolf? I mean, it's clear to me you're nothing but a freak.
Her guess was spot on, and I couldn't hide the hurt.
I can bite you.
I held my breath.
I wonder what that would do to a failed halfling.
She sarcastically gasped.
Maybe this could be your second chance?
I knew if I gave her the chance, she would happily maul me to death. I am unworthy, I whispered, hating that she forced me to say it.
That's right. Know your place, freak. Don't you be taking up Reed's time. If you want someone to talk to, we can spend time together just like old times.
Old times? It had been less than a year since she had last hit me, not to mention leaving me in the storm just yesterday. I bowed and walked away. As I headed down the stairs, I felt a whoosh of hot energy push me, and I fell at least 6 steps.
Oops, I was just trying to help you get to wherever you're going faster. This is still new to me.
It was clear what happened. Layla used her moon gift. Like Jason, she had an elemental gift, but instead of fire, she could manipulate the wind. Nice trick. Now she could insist she never laid a finger on me. Not that I was in any position to tell anyone or retaliate. She smirked, the crescent glowing on the ball of her palm. She cackled as she walked away.
I knocked at the door of the records room. Aunt Lisa, one of the elders who wasn't really my aunt but always wanted me to call her that, was usually the keeper of the records for the entire pack. I found the room empty. She was probably off to the post office. Good for me. I let myself in and quickly looked for Ari's records. I looked under A like a stupid person. After I didn't see it, I realized she had a last name. What was it? I didn't know it. Crap. How will I find... I blinked. Next to the overfull filing cabinet was a wooden box. It had Asian writing on it that looked like fancy brackets. Not knowing what it meant, I lifted the box the tiniest bit. Ari's scent was sealed in with these papers ever so faintly. Yes, this was her file. Why was it kept separately? Still needing to make sure that all her documents were there, I dumped out the contents of the large yellow envelope into the box. I was surprised to see she had an up-to-date passport, immunization records, and a lot of health checkups. They checked her every 4 months? All cubs got an annual checkup. Why did she get 3 a year? Even in her youngling years? There was a thicker section for her 7th grade checkups. Broken bones, twisted ankles. Her school records showed that she transferred to independent study around that time. Her injuries seemed to reduce after that.
How had we not noticed this? Our poor mate was hurting, and we saw nothing.
My wolf took the words right out of my mouth. I should have paid more attention. It was insane to think I didn't notice her at all at the time. How could I not, though? Ari was sweet and beautiful and smart, apparently. I blinked as I saw that she had graduated several years early. Underneath all the records was a medium-sized envelope. I looked inside and saw a picture. It looked formal. Korean garb. Was it a wedding photo? The woman looked like Ari. I stopped in shock when I saw the groom. There was a paper behind it. Birth certificate abroad. The name of the father was listed as Ryan Lowell, my father's first beta.
Ari is a beta's daughter.
What was with the secrecy? There was one more envelope in the box. The letter looked old, handwritten in a hurry. It was hard to read it with my flashlight. Please, I beg you to give my wife and child safety. I swear to you, my child is not what they fear her to be. Every day, we're hunted by vampires and fae. We've even encountered foxes and phoenixes. The witches haven't come after us, but they refuse to help. Is there no Lycan law that can save us from the king's agenda? My alpha, my brother, you're my only hope to survive this. Ryan Lowell. I remembered something my father said once, that his first beta abandoned his pack for a woman. No one said the word traitor, but it was implied. No wonder none of the elders bothered to help Ari. Their only kindness was their silence about her origin so that others in the pack wouldn't know. Just an orphan halfling, a nobody. Better than a traitor's daughter. But what kind of nobody has the Lycan King himself hunting?
It makes no sense. She is not dangerous.
I started to put the papers back in order when I noticed a heavy coin. It had our pack logo on it. My father did try to help Ryan after all. The coin was a type of good-for-one favor token that leadership levels were given. Lycan law stipulated that the favor could not be ignored. Clearly, Ryan used his to save Ari. I put the coin and all the papers back. So many secrets, and it all belonged to Ari. Why did I have to fall in love with a girl with such a complicated life? If she had a wolf, it would have been a strong one, worthy of being Luna. Even then, I doubted the elders would have forgiven her father's sins.
And we can't take her to the Lycan for their favor.
If they figure out who she is, they might kill her.
Then it's up to our bite.
No! My voice rang loudly in the empty room. My wolf shrank back at my anger.
Surely the moon would find her worthy.
He pleaded. It was wishful thinking. I sighed. It was a moot point. She was denied a wolf by the moon goddess. Our bite wouldn't change that. Poor Ari. And now I had to reject her too. The only way to protect her now is to send her away. The thought made me double over in nausea. I covered my mouth and caught my breath.
No, never reject. Even if no wolf, even if no moon blessing, Ari is our mate.
I had to agree. I couldn't reject her. I didn't want to. I'd rather live apart from her, feeling the pain of separation, than cut her out of my soul. Hopefully she could stay here by my side a little longer. The nausea passed and the cold sweat cooled me as I gasped for air.
Let's keep her close. The town. We can visit her all the time and still be alpha.
That was an idea. It felt wrong to reduce my soulmate to some secret mistress, and hypocritical as an alpha enforcing the rules to be stepping out. Still, if I could have her in my life, even a little, if I could love her and hold her. The thrill of kissing her skin rushed through my body in a flash of memory. I wanted more of that. I wanted her. If I were to go back to the silo now, would she accept me? Understand my feelings? Or would she be saying yes to the future alpha out of obligation? If only she had her wolf, she'd feel the mate bond. Damn it. I knew why I couldn't indulge in my wants. I couldn't even decide what would be the safest for Ari in terms of her living situation. Adding my desires only muddled the already confusing situation. Either way, all of this paperwork belonged with Ari, should she need to go.
She's planning to leave next spring. Can't we protect her until then?
Could we? I didn't like what happened to her yesterday. Would Ari need more protection? Or was Layla done with the bullying? If I could keep her safe by my side...
She's our mate. She belongs with us. We belong with her.
I know, bud. But she can't stay unless she's a wolf. I closed the box with only the coin left inside, and slipped out of the records room and back to my room without being noticed. The stairs and third-floor hall smelled like Ari. What was she doing up here? I took deep breaths and felt myself go a little weak in the knees. Focus. I put the file in an old leather duffel bag and threw it back into the closet. My room was cleaned. All I could smell was Ari. As her mate, I would always be able to pick up her scent, but from what others had said, they too could smell Ari's natural perfume to some extent. It didn't affect them like it did me, and instinctively most wolves steered away when they sensed her. Most got the creeps from her presence, which I never understood even before the mate bond. As her mate, though, I could tell her moods and her health by her scent. That was why this morning I could tell she was still injured by that tiny splinter, and why right now I could tell that Ari had gotten even more hurt. I followed her path. She had taken the main stairs up by the entrance hall, but took the other set of stairs down, the ones that landed closer to the kitchen. I could pick up notes of fear from the other end of the third-floor hallway. Then halfway down the stairs, I smelled panic, then pain at the mid-floor landing. I growled openly, letting my anger show. I ran down the stairs in search of my mate.